Hello, welcome. We are on day number 11 of 33 days of ownership, 33 days to a happier life, if you will. I'm going to start with 3 breaths. Put your feet flat on the ground. Close your eyes and we'll do in through our nose and out through our mouth. In through our nose and out through our mouth. In through our nose and out through our mouth. In through our nose and out through our mouth. Do you guys know that you tell people how to treat you without even saying a word? Yesterday I talked a little bit about Einstein and his theory of relativity, that basically everything is energy. There is energy can become matter, matter can become energy, but everything is energy. We are energy. And if you know yourself, you know if you're like a glass is half full or a glass is half empty. And you can kind of use that as a really quick gauge where your energy is. Are you fired up and excited? You have a lot of energy, you're on track? Or are you depressed and gossiping and sad and hate everything? You know, those energy fields. So every time we walk into a room and we look at another person, they are looking at us, but they're also experiencing our energy without even knowing it. Not only do we create our reality and we're responsible for our lives, but we actually tell people how to treat us without words, just with energy. So every single one of us is pure energy at different levels. If you are at a low level, it might look like toxicity, negative, gossiping, stuck, complaining, fake, unhappy, never satisfied. In the middle, there's working really hard and trying, tired, struggling towards change, people pleasers, pretty good to be around, starting to wake up and starting to have ownership, which we're doing together right now. And then the high energy level people are abundant. They are excited by others' success. I love that. People who are confident, happy, giving, collaborating, understanding that we're just here for learning and to evolve, not taking things personally, and expecting abundance, happiness, and joy. People read your energy and they treat you accordingly. That's how we tell them. How we show up, they read it and then they give us what we're asking for. And I also put birds of a feather flock together, and we'll talk about that too. So you can start to understand how there are bullies and how there are victims. Both of those energies of unworthiness, and they're handling it from being a victim or becoming a bully with the negative energy in their bodies, they go out onto a playground and they attract each other. A bully's not going to walk onto a playground and go to a medium person who feels pretty good about themselves and is moving forward. They're looking around for somebody in the same low energy realm as them, but they're not being bullies, they're being victims, so they match together. You can't have a victim without a bully. You can't have a bully without a victim. Another thing that you can see is in relationships, in marriages, where as an outsider you judge if someone's abusive, a man or a woman, to the partner, but both of them have to be on near the same energy level. And then you can understand if somebody's feeling really bad about themselves and they were beat up their whole lives from their parents, they're going to marry into and attract someone who's also on the low energy level, supporting their story of not being enough and being beat up because they've lived that their whole lives and they're asleep. So they're matching with people who support their story goggles, right? As you do your work, as you heal, as you evolve, as you lift, organically, those things fall off. Organically, those people are no longer matched with you. I've had a ton of friends that I used to party really hard with and try everything with and do all these things, and we were just running fast and hard. And then organically, as I slowed down and I started healing and I started sitting up straight, we were no longer sitting next to each other. We all know people who feel mistreated, victimized, betrayed, belittled, people who feel passed up for their promotions. They're constantly being borrowed from. Nobody's ever paying back. Why does this always happen to me, right? So they show up in this kind of low to medium arena. and they attract other people who are low and medium, and they're like, hi, I feel unworthy, and they're like, okay, then I'll take advantage of you because I feel kind of shitty too. And they're working together in this life dance, thinking it's all about people outside of them doing it to them, but nobody can do anything. Nobody can make you feel anything. Nobody can do anything without your permission. And that's not saying that people are giving permission to be abused, but when the person who's being abused starts to heal and notices that they are not only worthy but glorious and a child of God and connected to God whether they like it or not, they can't help but rise up, and then they're no longer available for the person who's still feeling in that realm. I started super kind of wild ass and unworthy, and I showed up and everyone treated me wild ass and unworthy, and I ran with people like that who supported my story, and now I know who I am, and I walk into a room knowing who I am and why I'm on the planet, and people react to me that way now. So I have lived the full gamut of unworthiness and attracting unworthiness, to be treated unworthy. And now I'm showing up whole, going, I mean, I have always every day a ton of work to do, but showing up going, yeah, probably not the right person to come over and throw shit on my head. You're not gonna get near me with that shovel. And I go, okay, sorry. I gotta throw shit at someone, I feel bad. Oh, there's someone feeling bad. Easy target. Anyway, do you guys get that kind of analogy? And by no way am I saying anything is right. I'm not promoting any behaviors. It's just realizing it takes two to tango. Everything is 50-50. You can't be in a bad marriage unless you're participating in the bad marriage. If you're rising up and healing and loving, and that person's doing it as well, your marriage is going to get better. If you're doing it and they're not, then you're starting to shift away. Not that you have to divorce, but you have to work with that empty space. What is that? I told you that the low energy levels, and you can think of kind of where you fall in this. Low is toxic, negative, gossiping, stuck, complaining, fake, unhappy. Middle people are working hard. They're trying so hard. They're tired. They're struggling towards change. They're people pleasers, pretty good to be around. They're starting to wake up and starting to have ownership like we're doing together right now. So we're all middle right here. Wow! And then there's high people who are excited by others' success. How many people do you know in your life when something good happens to you, they are excited and with you and happy? It's such an interesting thing. So high people are excited by others' success, people who are confident, happy, giving, collaborating, understanding that everything is for their learning, so they're not victimized by their life, they're empowered by their ups and downs. They know we're here to evolve, and they are experiencing joy, happiness, and abundance. So kind of think of where you are in that. Have ownership, ownership of where you are. What's going on in your life? What are the people, how are the people around you treating you? As you see your greatness, you know your worth, you heal your old wounds, that will be reflected out of your body, and people will treat you as a person who sees their worth. My quote for today is, as I walk into a room, confident in who I am and shining my light, I see this reflected back to me in the eyes of others. When you walk into a room, what are you seeing reflected back to you? When you are going through the grocery store line to pay your groceries, you're looking down at your phone, you're thinking about your problems, you go, what? Yeah, whatever, no, I don't want a bag. How much are they? Oh, you're charging for bags? That's bullshit. Or are you looking them in the eye? Why? Because you feel good and you want to connect with other human beings, because when that happens, they feel good. I walked into an elevator with a woman, and she came in and she was on fire, angry, and she was looking at me like I did something wrong, and I hadn't even pushed the close button, which I would have had I known when she was going to look at me like that. I'm standing there, she looks at me like, and turns around and hits the thing. And then when we got out, she just turned back at me, and I smiled at her with my heart, not my, oh, aren't you suffering? I smiled at her with my heart, and she just looked at me, and we walked away, and I went on about my business and got my stuff and got a coffee, whatever, shop. An hour later, she comes running back to me and said, I'm having the worst day of my life, and your kindness like shifted her, woke her up, or brought her back that things are going to be okay, or something like that. Literally, I made the decision to go, I don't have to react to her anger. I don't have to match her energy. oh my gosh, I'm called to actually love her. She's hurting. Why would I be mean to someone who's hurting? So in that quick second of pushing a button, I just smiled at her from my heart, and it affected her profoundly. I was allowed to hold who I am, know who I am, know what my gifts are, connect with her regardless of how she connected with me. And she was touched by that. So as you rise, there's still going to be jerks. There's still going to be people with shovels of shit wanting to throw it at you, but you don't have to accept it. And you can actually meet them with love, which lets them drop their shovel and start to move up to the middle level. So whatever level you are on, good for you. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You are exactly with your story and your life and your situations where you're supposed to be. The good news is we can always go, go, go. Keep learning, rise up and heal. God, thank you for this lesson for myself today and sharing it, that we are responsible for the energy that we give off to the world, and therefore we're telling them how to treat us. Let us see ourselves so clearly that we can be tender to the places that need it. We can stand up in strength for the things that are glorious, which is our true self and connected to you. And just bless us with awareness. Bless us with awareness of who we are, why we're here, and let us have complete ownership of our lives. Amen. Okay, I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Happy Thursday. Tomorrow I'm surprising my husband with a little magical 24-hour getaway, so I might be doing this on the road. I don't know, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining me.